Today we are making the wings recipe from 5 of the most viewed food content creators on the internet. We've got Gordon Ramsay, we've got Nick Giovanni, Joshua Wisman, he's probably hiding in a cabinet somewhere. Guys, buffalo wings are some of my favorite food. We're gonna be making 5 different wings, judging them on taste, texture, and ease to make, so you should know which one to make at home for yourself. And of course, we're gonna start with the man, Gordon Ramsay. His are Hot Ones inspired. He has 2 of the most viewed Hot Ones episodes, so it would only be right if I got the Hot Ones sauce for this. But the way Gordon makes his wings is super different than everybody else. We're gonna season our wings with paprika, garlic powder, and of course some salt. But normally when you think buffalo wings, I'm sure you're thinking deep fry, but of course Gordon has to do it a super unique way. We are going to pan sear these, then go in the oven. I'm not sure I'm vibing with this seasoning on the plate method, but let's go for a sear. I gotta say, I have never made buffalo wings on the stove before. This is a new one for me. Trying to get that nice sear. Smell is a little crazy. All right, and then once we've locked in a decent sear, I don't know if it's a decent sear, but he did not cook for very long in his video. There's so much steam, oh my God. We're gonna go with black pepper. All right, now our wings are gonna go into the oven for 15 minutes at 375 degrees. See you soon. Now we're gonna take some of our pan liquid, drizzle that over the top. Gonna take our hot sauce, let's get amount of hot sauce, and put in some more butter. And now we're just gonna, shake to combine. I mean, these look good, man. These look rustic. These look like wings from like medieval times. All right, let's plate it. Wow, I am excited to try these. It's not quite a buffalo flavor, which is weird because we have the butter, we have the hot sauce, but it's not really a buffalo. It's really fragrant. The black pepper, you actually feel a little pop of it at the end. And of course today, we're gonna be rating these things on taste, texture, and ease to make. Taste-wise, these are almost perfect. I'm gonna give these a 19 on taste. Texture-wise, I wish they had some of that crispiness, but I feel like the flavor profile we're going for does fit more of this like rustic chicken type. For texture, I'm gonna give it a 16. Ease to make, I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm giving Gordon Ramsay's wings a score of 43. These are amazing, but we're on to our next chef. And our second chef today is Nick To Giovani. Now this guy is going full bougie on his wings. We've got white truffle hot sauce. I'm sure everyone has seen the white truffle sauces in their grocery market. For some reason, the white one is like 3 times the price of the black one, but we got that. We also got truffle salt. This was like 27 bucks for this little thing of salt. So for Nick's recipe, we're only doing big drums. I put them in a mixture of buttermilk and pickle juice, and we're letting that set aside for 30 minutes. Let's make our buffalo sauce. First up, we're gonna hit that with some butter, all of our hot sauce. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. We're gonna hit it with some mayonnaise, a little bit of vinegar, and a splash of Worcestershire. I think that's a splash. Our super duper truffle salt, a little cayenne pepper for some heat, because the truffle doesn't really have a lot of heat. And finally, garlic. So he specifically says to use a wide saucepan. I don't really understand why. I don't really understand wide. All right, that came together really quick. Let's give it a little taste test. Oh, that is good. I'm gonna set this aside for now. And now we're gonna make a quick dredge. Starch, not flour, starch. Bougie salt, garlic powder, chili powder, onion powder, fresh pepper. Why am I talking like that? All right, let's mix that up, baby. Flour mixture's done, sauce is done. It is time to make some wings. We're gonna deep fry at 325 for about 7 minutes. Juicy boy. First wing going in, and second wing going in. Okay, now that it's been about 7 minutes, I'm gonna take these boys out. Wow, big juicy looking boy. We're gonna dry in that wire rack. Now we're gonna crank the heat up on these things to 375 and go back in. Wow, these are already really crispy, but they're gonna get even more crispy. So we're gonna take those out once they're golden brown. All right, our chicken is looking golden brown. Ooh, okay, got our wings. We're gonna put these boys in a bowl, add our buffalo sauce, or should I say truffalo sauce, and we're gonna toss. Okay, and we've got some beautiful buffalo wings. These are way bigger than normal buffalo wings, but my God, I'm so excited to try this. Here we go. That might be the best buffalo sauce I've ever had. It is so juicy. Wow. Taste-wise, this is an easy 20. I mean, this is the easiest 20 maybe we've ever had. It's really hard to describe the buffalo sauce. It's rich, it's got a hint of sweetness. It's just so flavorful. I feel like my issue right now, I don't know why I had to get on a knee for this, is if you bite into it and you don't bite all the way through, you might get some bites that don't have any buffalo sauce on them. Texture, it's crispy, don't get me wrong, it's really crispy, but the way the texture complements the flavor, it's great on that first bite, and then it kind of like, doesn't necessarily go downhill, but it doesn't doesn't go uphill. It is really crispy though. I gotta give the texture a 15. Ease to make. We are deep frying, so I'm gonna automatically knock it down 2. Nick's wings are getting a total score of 43 out of 50. On to the next wings. Okay, our next chef is Kenji LopezAlt. Now my man here, he is the godfather of food science, but he is not doing deep fried wings. We were doing straight oven baked this time. Now what's interesting is earlier he had me prep this with salt, baking soda, and some cornstarch. So here we are with these wings that are supposed to be a little bit more crackly. These have been in my fridge for many, many hours. These are gonna be going in the oven for a long time. And this one is gonna have a very basic buffalo sauce recipe, just a pretty standard hot sauce, butter, and garlic. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven right now. I'm gonna start it out with some butter. Okay, we're gonna slurry in some garlic. You know, my secret recipe, I don't know if it's secret or whatnot, but when I make buffalo wings, I like to put brown sugar in my buffalo. I feel like it gives it like a nice, like almost like molasses sweet undertone. But none of the chefs today are doing that, so maybe it's just a terrible idea and I'm stupid and I should stop doing that. And now let's sauce it up. Woo! I feel like this is gonna be our most super standard buffalo sauce today, like no truffle, just a very clean, simple sauce. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check on the wings. Color isn't that crazy. Down boy. We're gonna flip them over here. I'm not sure why the pan just exploded, but we don't ask questions. Another 20 minutes in the oven. Coming out of the oven, these wings are looking pretty good. And now we're gonna hit them with some buffalo sauce. So we have some very typical looking buffalo wings. These are like the most buffalo looking buffalo wings, if that makes sense. Now, I feel like with buffalo wings, the big thing is, are they crispy? And these are oven baked. We've deep fried a lot before this. Wow. Not gonna lie, the texture on that first wing was just incredible. There's like a weird taste. I don't know what it is. It's something in the prep. I don't know if it's the cornstarch, the baking soda. What's crazy about these is they have a nice crunch. They're so tender. It's almost like a barbecue. Okay, texturally, it feels weird saying this given that it's not deep fried, but white is crispy on the outside, but it's like so much more tender on the inside. And I really like it. I'm gonna give that a 20 for texture. Taste is where he's losing me. There's like a weird aftertaste. I feel like the sauce, I didn't get it to emulsify quite right, which is a little bit on me, but still there's something not right about the flavor. I don't know, it wasn't as good as Nick's. So for taste, I'm gonna go a little bit lower here. I'm gonna go 15. And ease to make, I mean, the only thing that's not easy about this, screwing up the emulsification, just the amount of time in the oven. I think it's kind of annoying for buffalo wings. These are definitely prep ahead. You know, you're supposed to prep these ahead of time, at least 3-4 hours. Any other situation, it's a little too much time. So I'm gonna give it an 8, which is a 43. Our next chef is Frank from Epicurious. Josh Wisman must have been coming out of my cabinets. So I've watched this channel for a long time. I've loved this guy, Frank. I've watched a ton of his videos. I've actually never made anything from him, so I'm excited. We're gonna try his buffalo wings. Now, overnight, we prepped our wings by air chilling them in the fridge, basically just drying them out. You want them as dry as possible, but first, we're gonna be making our buffalo sauce. We're gonna go butter. Whoa. A little too hot there. We're gonna go hot sauce. We're gonna go garlic. And we're gonna go ketchup. Of course, a pinch of salt. So the ketchup, it's gonna add sweetness, it's gonna add thickening. That's why he has ketchup in here, kind of add sweetness to help combat the spiciness of the hot sauce. I feel like I might have put a lot of ketchup in. And once again, we are back to frying. Although we're frying a little bit differently this time. With Nick's recipe, we double fried it. Once at 325, once at 375. With Frank's recipe, we're going straight to the 375. This is something that happened in my fried chicken video, people with different methods. To be honest, I felt like just doing 375 straight up was better than the double fry. Curious if I'm gonna feel the same way about the wings. Okay, we're at 375. We're going in. All right, those are gonna take around 10 minutes, he says. The wings are coming out. They are looking good. I feel like this is more of like a tan brown than a golden brown. We're gonna quickly hit that with some fresh salt and pepper. Let's get these wings loaded up in here. Some sauce. Now, Frank said a method for not getting it on you is to do it away from you. Wow, this is actually a really good method, doing it really far away from your body. And wow, I feel like I have the perfect amount of sauce on those. That's awesome. Of all the wings we're making today, these have to be the most straightforward. Let's give it a go. Nice and crispy, nice and salty from salting it right after we're done frying it. That's the most classical wing ever. I feel like these are the type of wings I ate when I first ate wings. Now in his video, Frank said one way to eat them is to twist, get rid of this small bone. And now you can almost eat it more like a rib because there's only one bone. Hold on now, Frank. Did you just change the way I eat buffalo wings? Easy to make, pretty classic. I mean, deep frying, I gotta give the deep frying penalty. A lot of people at home don't like to deep fry. I'm gonna give it an 8 for ease to make. Now taste. The chicken itself tastes so good. I'll be honest though, I'm not in love with this sauce. I think I maybe should have put in more butter, a little less garlic. I'll go 15. Texture-wise, I mean, it's not quite as crispy as the other ones, but I do like the texture despite that. It's not soggy at all. I am gonna give it only a 16, which means Frank is getting a total score of 39. Let's get to our final chef. And our last chef, of course, Joshua Wisman. Now this guy has won this video just about every time I've done it. His recipes always seem to be the best, and I'm either gonna be giving him an advantage or a disadvantage, up to you guys. I'm letting him do his lemon pepper wings recipe because it's his most popular wings video. And honestly, I would have given other people variety, but everyone else just did buffalo, and I don't blame them. Buffalo's my favorite, but here we are with Josh Wisman. We got a blender. We've got an oven mitt. 7 whole peeled lemons. So I peeled 7 whole lemons, threw them on a wire rack, and put them in the oven at its lowest temperature for about 40 minutes. Josh actually recommends a dehydrator, but I don't have one. This was his alternate method, so here we go. Dude, the lemon smell coming out of this is actually pretty crazy. All right, it's not broken up as much as I was hoping. How sour do we think this lemon stuff is? We're gonna go with our lemon. We're gonna go onion powder. We're gonna go salt, pepper, granulated citric acid. We're gonna mix that up. I'm honestly gonna need to strain this. I feel like the blender did not really do a great job. I just can't get it to grind into a fine powder. I don't know. All right, so far we have a very mid mix and a complete mess. Before we get to things, we have to make our lemon pepper butter. This is just gonna help, you know, bind everything together. So we got our butter. We're gonna hit that with some garlic. And we are going to take some of our lemon pepper seasoning and throw that in there as well. Well, that came together super quickly. Just like Nick Giovanni from earlier, we're going to be double frying this. Start by making a quick starch and salt combo. We're going to run our chicken in that. We're up to 325. Wings are going in. Okay, 4 minutes in the fryer. And just like Nick Giovanni, we're gonna crank the heat up and go to 375. All right, another 4 minutes for the double fry. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit. I feel like they're not quite golden brown. All right, I'm gonna make an executive decision to leave them in a little bit longer. I'm gonna leave one wing as a test wing, just to test the crispiness and everything, because I'm a little worried I didn't do the lemon pepper quite right. All right, we're gonna take our wings, bowl up, butter up. Not too much butter, I don't wanna soak them. We're gonna toss them in the butter and with our actual pepper seasoning. I feel like I did not do these right. I hate to say it. I definitely did not do a proper dry rub, which was the intention of the recipe, but I'm just gonna try my test one real quick with no seasoning on it. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about this? Texture-wise, these wings are pretty solid. They don't blow me away with their crispiness, but it's like a nice, good, crispy. The flavors held together really well. The way the chicken tastes inside is phenomenal. Texture, I gotta go with a, let's go with a 17 for texture. Taste, this is a little hard to judge because execution is part of it and difficulty to make are intertwined in this one. Difficulty to make, I'm honestly gonna give this like a 2 because you have to dehydrate the lemon peels, which you can do in the oven. I tried it. I used both a blender and a food processor. Neither of them could really get it as fine as it needed to get. I felt like I had to constantly adjust the recipe to get it where I needed to. The taste-wise, even though I didn't execute it, I think this is pretty good. The lemon flavor is very natural. I'm gonna give taste a 16. So overall, I'm giving Josh Wisman's wings a 35, mostly just because of difficulty to make. So this is a weird one. We have 3 people tied at 43. We've got my man Gordon, we've got my man Nick, and we've got my man Jay Kenji. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Jay's, I just like the flavor of the least, but the texture of the most. Nick's, I like the flavor the most, but the texture, it was crispy on the outside, but he specifically told us to use gigantic wings. And then we had Gordon, who was kind of a blend of all of them. Whole package, it wasn't the crispiest wing. It was probably the least crispy wing we had today. I am going to give the crown to break the tie to Nick Giovanni. I thought his truffle was just absolutely amazing. Granted, his were the most expensive by a mile, but the reason I have to give it to Nick is because he could make his sauce with normal sized chicken wings. You don't have to use the jumbo wings, which is ultimately the only thing that I really didn't like about his wings. If you just use normal sized wings, Nick, you would have won by a mile. So I'm giving the crown to Nick. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can watch up here to see me do this with fried chicken sandwiches and steak. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.